They moved under cover of darkness, believing night would shield them. But in Yobe State, Nigeria's troops struck first, leaving dozens of insurgents down and their supply lines shattered. In the northeast of Nigeria, the fight against insurgency is no longer just about holding ground. It is about taking it back, village by village, route by route, night by night. On February 21, 2026, a military briefing confirmed what may be one of the most significant single-night offensives in recent months under Operation Hadin Kai. Under Operation Desert Sanity V, Sector 2 troops of the Joint Task Force Northeast, working closely with the Civilian Joint Task Force, executed a coordinated night raid around Muktom and Nibua in Yobe State. The result was decisive. According to official figures, 82 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists were neutralized during the encounter. 82. In a conflict where numbers often shift and confirmation takes time, that figure alone signals the scale of the engagement. But the details matter even more. This was not a daytime skirmish, it was a deliberate night offensive. That choice was strategic. For years, insurgent groups like Boko Haram and Islamic State West Africa Province have relied heavily on darkness to maneuver, regroup, and launch surprise attacks. They understand the terrain, they exploit reduced visibility, they move supplies under the cover of night. This time, the advantage flipped. Sector 2 troops advanced under darkness, disrupting what appears to have been a significant insurgent presence clustered around Muktum and Nibua. These villages are not random dots on the map. They sit within a wider operational corridor that insurgents have historically used for mobility and logistics. When the firefight ended and troops conducted what the military described as post-battle exploitation of the area, more evidence emerged. Drag marks were discovered along withdrawal routes. A freshly dug shallow grave was found. That detail is chilling. It suggests that beyond the 82 bodies counted on the battlefield, additional casualties were sustained and hastily removed by fleeing insurgents. In insurgent warfare, bodies are often concealed to maintain morale and control narrative. But physical signs, drag marks, burial attempts tell their own story. The implication is clear. The impact was even heavier than initial counts suggest. Let's talk about what was recovered. After securing the area, troops seized 32 AK-47s. That is not a minor haul. 32 rifles represent the firepower of an entire fighting unit. Removing them immediately reduces the group's offensive capability. 50 motorcycles were also recovered. In the northeast, motorcycles are not just transportation, they are tactical assets. They enable rapid raids, quick escapes, and coordinated swarm attacks. Seizing 50 motorcycles cripples mobility. It limits the ability to project force across villages. Multiple mobile phones were also recovered, which may prove equally valuable. In modern insurgency, communication networks are lifelines. Phones contain contact lists, coordination threads, financial trails, and operational intelligence. Proper exploitation of these devices could unlock further cells and collaborators. Now, let's widen the lens. This operation is part of Operation Desert Sanity V, a broader campaign aimed at strangling insurgent supply lines and dismantling remaining enclaves. Supply chains are the bloodstream of armed groups. Fighters cannot operate without ammunition, fuel, food, and communication. By striking Muktum and Nibua, they did more than win a firefight. They disrupted logistics corridors. Denying freedom of movement is one of the most effective counterinsurgency strategies. When insurgents cannot move safely between hideouts, they fragment. When they cannot move supplies, they weaken. When they cannot travel at night without fear, their operational rhythm collapses. And the pressure was not isolated to Sector 2. Around the same period, Sector 1 troops reportedly thwarted insurgents attempting to cross a main supply route along the Bula-Yobe-Darel-Jamel axis. Faced with resistance, the terrorists abandoned sacks of assorted logistic supplies and fled. This matters because main supply routes, MSRs, are strategic arteries. Control them and you control operational sustainability. Lose them and you lose reach. What we are witnessing is coordinated pressure across sectors. That coordination is critical. For too long, insurgent groups have relied on exploiting gaps, striking one area while regrouping in another. Simultaneous night operations reduce those gaps. They deny breathing room. We must also acknowledge the role of the Civilian Joint Task Force. The CJTF has been controversial in some discussions, but on the ground, they provide localized intelligence and terrain familiarity that formal forces may lack. In operations like this, collaboration between military units and civilian auxiliaries enhances precision. When done correctly, it bridges the intelligence gap between community and command. To the critics who argue that insurgency in the Northeast cannot be degraded, this operation challenges that narrative. 82 fighters neutralized in a single night is not symbolic, it is structural damage. However, realism is necessary. Insurgent networks are adaptive, leadership losses are replaced, fighters are recruited, external ideological influence persists. This is why sustained pressure matters more than singular victories. Still, morale matters in warfare. The military high command noted that despite the unpredictability of the theater, troop morale remains high. That statement is significant. Counterinsurgency is as psychological as it is tactical. Soldiers operating in remote areas, facing ambush risks and harsh terrain, require confidence in leadership and mission clarity. Operations like this reinforce that confidence. But let's speak directly about the enemy here. Groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP have inflicted unimaginable trauma on Nigeria's northeast. They have attacked schools, displaced families, targeted markets, and attempted to rewrite social order through fear. There is nothing ideological about burning villages or enslaving communities. It is cruelty dressed as doctrine. When such groups suffer heavy battlefield losses, it is not cause for celebration of violence. It is cause for relief that fewer attackers remain to threaten civilians. For communities in Yobe State, this operation may mean fewer night raids, fewer roadside ambushes, fewer extortion demands. But security gains must be consolidated. Cleared areas must remain secured. Intelligence must continue flowing. Reconstruction must follow clearance. Otherwise, vacuums re-emerge and insurgents return. Another important dimension is technological adaptation. Insurgents have increasingly used small arms, IEDs, and fast-moving motorcycle units. Countering that requires mobility, surveillance, and night vision capability. The success of this raid suggests improved tactical execution under low light conditions. Night dominance changes the equation. If insurgents can no longer rely on darkness, their operational confidence erodes. Now, to our viewers across Nigeria and beyond, it is easy to become numb to security updates. Numbers blur together, operations sound repetitive. But behind every successful raid are weeks of intelligence gathering, reconnaissance, coordination, and risk. 82 fighters removed from the battlefield means dozens of potential attacks prevented. 32 rifles seized means dozens fewer weapons circulating in villages. 50 motorcycles confiscated means mobility disrupted across multiple cells. That is tangible impact. If you value fearless, fact-driven reporting that highlights both progress and pressure points, this is your moment to support Trend Fusions. Subscribe now, share this report, let more Nigerians engage with verified information rather than rumor. Back to the strategic picture. Operation Desert Sanity V reflects an evolving doctrine. Hit hard, hit at night, disrupt supply chains, maintain pressure across sectors. The Northeast theater remains complex. Forested areas, porous borders, and ideological entrenchment complicate long-term resolution. But sustained attrition, removing fighters, commanders, and logistics is how insurgencies are weakened over time. The discovery of drag marks and shallow graves underscores something else. Insurgents are feeling the weight of these operations. Concealing casualties is often an attempt to preserve morale and propaganda narratives, but concealment cannot reverse battlefield reality. For families who have suffered in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa streets over the years, each successful clearance operation restores a measure of confidence. Confidence encourages displaced persons to consider returning home. Confidence encourages farmers to plant again. Confidence reopens local economies. Security success is not just military, it is social stabilization. However, authorities must remain transparent. Independent verification, responsible reporting, and continuous updates strengthen credibility. Overstatement weakens trust. Clear facts strengthen it. At Trend Fusions, our commitment remains the same. Call out brutality without hesitation and recognize operational progress when it occurs. The night raid around Muktum and Nirbua represents more than a tactical victory. It represents a signal. Insurgents no longer own the darkness. But the work is not finished. Clearance must transition into consolidation. Consolidation must transition into stability. Stability must transition into development. That chain cannot break. As Sector 1 and Sector 2 continue aggressive clearance operations, the objective is clear: dismantle remaining enclaves and deny terrorists any illusion of permanence. To the troops operating in harsh terrain, under constant threat, your discipline and coordination matter. To the insurgents attempting to regroup, understand that every route is being watched, every corridor contested. And to our audience, stay informed, stay engaged, and stand firm against narratives that glorify or excuse terror. If you believe Nigeria's security story deserves clarity, subscribe to Trend Fusions, share this video, and join the conversation in the comments. The theater may remain unpredictable, but in Yobe, under Operation Hadin Kai, one thing became predictable for insurgents this week: the night no longer guarantees safety. And that shift could redefine the battlefield in the months ahead.